going to be our little rehearsal for right now. With music, I wanted to do a video instead of trying to do it over Zoom because I can control the quality a little bit better this way. So, this video is going to be of all of the ensemble parts throughout the whole show. That includes Be the Hero, Ashton's Favorite Son, Out There on the Road, Closer to Her, Red, White, and True, The Showdown, Start Over, done by Dylan, and What's Next, and then the Procession. Okay, so those will be all in this video. And then anything like the Lambs, I will meet separately with you guys, make other videos for you. We'll work out the parts and stuff like that. Same with I Know What You Want, all of the witches. We're going to make that all something separate there. Okay, so we're going to start out here with Be the Hero. So I want you to have this music printed out. If you can print out those songs and any others that you're in, that would be preferable. But I would also like you to have a pencil and a highlighter handy to mark where you're singing, what note that you're singing. Since we have less time that we're going to spend in person with one another, I really just want you to learn it the first way, the right way, so we don't have to go back and learn things over again, right? We don't have time for that because we don't have much time in the first place to work things out. We can learn it separately, but then we still have to come together and make sure that we sound freaking awesome. So let's get right into this. So we start here, Be the Hero. Right here, measure 69. That's where we first come in. We start with this. Be the hero of your story till it's done, right? And the important thing here is, like I've written, it's got to have this huge sound. You've got to just kind of have this shocking entrance, like, whoa, here's everybody. Oh my gosh, this is great. Now, with this piece, there's some harmony in there, and there's some really cool stuff. However, most of it is melody. Everybody's just singing melody. And so with that, the rule is that your diction has to rule. I have to understand you. So I've put a lot of notes in here, like right here, measure 69, I've circled the letter B, right? That means that I want a hard B. Be the hero, not just be the hero of the story. No, it's gotta be the hero. Same thing whenever we, like at the end of that little phrase, be the hero of your story till it's done. I need a hard D. Also, whenever we have any what are called phonated consonants, right? So at the end of this line, why go promenade when you were born to run? The N still has to be voiced. So you're going to sing it, and anytime we have these at the end of a phrase, you've got to sing it like this. Why go promenade when you were born to run? After the N, you are still singing just a little bit, and it still has to be perfectly in tune, because we have to understand what word it is, okay? So, run. I will be very picky about those. Let's see here. Moving on, just kind of go over things really quickly before we jump into the parts. We've got this right here at the top of page 6. Story. It changes here at the end. You have to make sure you get that. And as I've noted, this forte piano is really important. You start loud, story, back off, and then crescendo. Okay. Again, we've got a lot of melody here, but we do have all of the altos come down to this G to support the tenors, because it's going to be really cool when we get there. Again, we have a change in the chord at the very end of it that has to be accented. We've got to hear it. It's going to be really cool when we do. Then when we get to this, be attentive, be inventive, be the first one to rejoice. All of those consonants that I have underlined have to be really hard so that we can understand what's going on. And lady tenors, I want you to come down and sing the A with the tenors, right? Then here at the end, and the world will soon be yours. So we have the D as a normal hard vowel, right? But the L and the N are those where there's going to be a little bit of sound after the consonant, right? Will soon be yours. Okay, and as is noted, not what I just did, but what is noted, we do not take a breath in between be and yours. And the world will soon be yours. Okay, let's start over right where we come in measure 69, and let's go over this now. So let's just start with the men. We've got be the hero of your story till it's done. Why go promenade when you were born to run? That's the basses. The only difference is that for the tenors is be the why go promenade when you were born to run. Okay. The women right there, we have be the hero of your story till it's done. Why go promenade when you were born to run? That's the altos. And the sopranos are only different by why go promenade when you were born to run. So, all parts right there are be the hero of your story till it's done. Why go promenade when you were born to... Then here's the chord. Run. Okay, I'll play it once without me singing it all. Let me play that just a little better. Why go promenade? Okay, there you go. Then Edward sings, if you understand this premise, you'll never be alone. Men, we have, you can conquer every challenge. You can face each stepping stone. Be the hero of your story. That's the basses. The tenors are, you can conquer every challenge. You can face each stepping stone. Be the hero of your story. Okay. Altos. You can conquer every challenge. You can face each stepping stone. Be the hero of your story. And then all mezzo-sopranos and sopranos. When it's just two-part split for women, mezzo-sopranos and sopranos are together, and altos are just by themselves, right? So the sopranos and mezzos go like, you can conquer every challenge. You can face each stepping stone. Be the hero of your story. Okay. Then we have this next little part. He sings again. Then the men come in, and this is like a transitionary little section we have. Be the hero of your story. Hold, hold, hold. Be the hero of your story. Which I didn't turn the pitch. Okay, so story are the tenors, and story are the basses. So let's go over the basses one more time here. We've got be the hero of your story. Be the hero of your. Oh my goodness, I can't even play right and turn the page at the same time. All right. Be the hero of your hero. There we go. And then you stay for the whole time. There's a change at the end, right? Measure 94. Basses stay. The tenors don't. Okay. So the tenors go like this. Be the hero of your story. Okay. The women come in after the men, so they go, be the hero of your story. And then, hero of your... Oh my goodness, I can't do that. I'll play yours again. We go. Be the hero of your story. Hero of your story. This is all altos. The sopranos are be the hero of your story. Hero of your story. Oh, and and I forgot to mention that the altos are the other ones that change, right? So they're with the tenors. Story. So this all sounds like something like this. I'll see if I can get this page turned in here while playing. Be the hero of your story. Hold 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3. Now it changes. 2, 3, 4. Off. Okay. So I'm not going to do that over again. I want you to take this and just rewind in the video enough until you've got it with that. And sorry I can't play it perfectly the first time while I'm trying to play and use the technology and stuff at the same time, but it's okay. It's just not going to be perfect, and but we're going to learn it anyways. All right, moving on. We don't come back in until measure 153 right here. Okay, so let me play. I'm going to play the basses from the top of the page to the bottom right here. Okay, so basses we have live the story live the story I've been dreaming of. Be the hero every time you get the chance. If the music stops, continue with the dance. You get some nice melody right there. Okay, tenors we have live the story I've been dreaming of. Be the hero every time you get the chance. If the music stops, continue with the dance. Okay, that rhythm right there, I'm just going to play that, and this is where the altos come in, right? If the music stops, continue with the dance. Okay. Then we've got the altos. The story I've been dreaming of. Be the hero every time you get the chance. If the music stops, continue with the dance. And you don't change. And that where I have marked in measure 154 right here, lady tenors. That's going to be all altos on the G, all mezzo sopranos on the C, and all first sopranos on the F. So that is a change. That lady tenors needs to change to just altos or on that G. Okay? Now I'll play the second sopranos, the mezzos. We have live the story I've been dreaming of. Be the hero every time you get the chance. If the music stops, continue with the dance. Okay? Now we have here the very end. So this is the men. We have be attentive, be inventive, be the first one to rejoice. Be the story in your heart, you won't need any other choice. You're a hero fighting dragons, winning wars. Be the hero, and the world will soon be yours. Okay, so that's the basses. Here's the tenors. We have be attentive, be inventive, be the first one to rejoice. With a story in your heart, you won't need any other choice. You're a hero fighting dragons, winning wars. Be the hero, and the world will soon be yours. Okay. Women, we've got the altos here first. We're gonna be inventive, be attentive. Be attentive, be inventive, be the first one to rejoice. With a story in your heart, you won't need any other choice. You're a hero fighting dragons, winning wars. Be the hero, and the world will soon be yours. Okay? And then sopranos. Be attentive, be inventive, be the first one to rejoice. With a Be attentive, be inventive, be the first one to rejoice. With a story in your heart, you won't need any other choice. You're a hero fighting dragons, winning wars. Be the hero, and the world will soon be yours. So now, once you get familiar with those parts, then I want you to try it with the accompaniment track. Okay, there's a good one on YouTube. If you don't have it, then go back and listen to this a little bit more till you've got it a little more solidly, and you can do it with that track. Okay, but let me play just this last page, just all the parts again, one time through, starting with 153. Okay, so this has got to be a very energized part, right? As I was teaching it, I was kind of marking it, and that's fine as you're learning it, but then I need you to practice getting to the point where you're confident in this. You can belt it out, right? Have fun with this. So we have the story I've been dreaming of, be the hero every time. On a wing or on a prayer, you get there only with your voice. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, let's move on to the next one. If you have any problems or questions, let me know about that if there's anything I can do to help with that one. This is going to be a really important one. We'll probably go over this one lots of times, even before we meet in person, just because it is so important, okay? If there's any particular problems or questions, let me know, though. We're going to move on now to Ashton's favorite son. This is number 7. Oh, too far. Okay. All right, this one's kind of fast, has lots of melody, right? And some of the harmonies are kind of challenging, so we're going to make sure that we nail those really good. Okay, so Edward Bloom, you're Ashton's favorite son. Yes, you are. And Edward Bloom, just look at what you've done. Superstar, hero of the baseball diamond, hits a home run. Champion of the science fair, he's a number 1. Okay, so that breaks right there. Champion of the science fair, he's a number 1. Then we've got the tenors. Edward Bloom, you're Ashton's favorite son. And Edward Bloom, just look at what you've done. Okay, you've got big jumps there. And hero of the baseball diamond, hits a run. Champion of the science fair, he's a number 1. Okay, so altos, this is your section here. We've got Edward Bloom, you're Ashton's favorite son. Yes, you are. Edward Bloom, just look at what you've done. Superstar and hero of the baseball diamond, hits a home run. Number 1. He's a number 1. Okay. Sopranos, we've got Edward Bloom, you're Ashton's favorite son. Yes, you are. Edward Bloom, just look at what you've done. Superstar, hero of the baseball diamond, hits a home run. Wait, and he's a number 1. Everybody together, we've got Okay, so that's played really slowly, but you get the notes there. Then we've got, moving on, measure 21. Captain of the student council wins not debate. Everybody's just melody there. Then always knows exactly what to say. Hero too. Okay, so now we're gonna break this up here. Lady tenors are coming down to be with the tenors right there. So we've got the basses, though. We have look what he can do. Again, look what he can do. Tenors and lady tenors are. Okay, you've got that nice tritone there. Look what he can do. But up an octave. Look what he can do. Altos, we have look what he can do. And sopranos. Okay, so slowly, here's what the parts are. Again. Moving on, we have Ashton's favorite son in every way. Okay, then we just skip down to the very bottom line right here. Right after the cheerleaders go, Edward, Edward, go, Edward. Basses go. So, this is one of those moments where I have decided to change something right here. Okay, so where it says on the A, that's just lady tenors, and then the altos are on the C. I'm changing this to all altos are on the A with the tenors. Okay, then we have all of the mezzo sopranos on the C. Then we have all the rest of the sopranos. The first sopranos are here, and then the three first sopranos that are highlight. This is Amanda, Melissa, and Annie. You got three can take the A. That's it. Only you three. Okay? And the rest are split like that. So this is wrong. This A is all altos. This C is all mezzo sopranos. This is all first sopranos and just the three first sopranos. Okay? So let's do these right here. The basses, we go. Edward Bloom, our favorite son. Okay, falsettos, okay, if that's all you've got up there, and that's totally normal. All right, tenors, we have Edward Bloom, our favorite son. Okay, you're going to be with all the altos, so if you have to go lighter, that's okay too. Altos. Edward Bloom, our favorite son. And mezzo sopranos. Mezzos are up here. Edward Bloom, our favorite son. First sopranos are Edward Bloom, our favorite son. And the high sopranos. Okay. Everybody together right there. We've got one more time with the parts all normal. We've got at normal speed. Okay, there we go. Let's just go through that whole thing one more time, playing all of the parts. Ashton's favorite son. We've got, starting right at measure 5, Edward Bloom. And so we've got moving to the end, we've got okay. Alrighty, let's move on to the next. Which is Out There on the Road. Okay, so this is number 8. This is just the next one right here. Okay, this one's really fun. There's not a ton of ensemble at the very beginning, but towards the end, there's lots. Okay, so measure 109. Oh, this is measure 54. Excuse me, my page 109 in my conductor script. But measure 54 is where everybody comes in, right? And so we just got this little thing right here that's just one measure, okay? This is where, like, everybody in the town sees Carl for the first time, and so they're just freaking out, right? So this is actually really high. If you want to hear it first, this is what it sounds like. Okay? It's really high. And it's basically you just screaming. But, like, not actually screaming, but that's what the effect is, right? So you're singing up high, and you're very worried, and very dramatic, because this is musical theater. Okay, so, the basses are, that's him right there. Tenors are, that's him right there. Altos. And then the sopranos. Okay. And how I have it written here of altos and tenors all being on the G, the mezzo-sopranos on the E flat, and then the first sopranos on here. So it's just a little bit different than what I've got right here. So this is all first sopranos on the G, all mezzo-sopranos on the E flat, altos and tenors G, basses on this. Okay, so all of these parts again. Okay. We skip again. And we have just a little thing right here, measure 86. Okay, we've got a little bit of different rhythm with the basses, but here, with this 3-part split here, it's going to be sopranos, mezzos, and altos, not sopranos, altos, and lady tenors, right? Because we've already got a nice built-in 3-part split, so that's what this is going to be right here. Sopranos on top, mezzo-sopranos middle, altos on bottom. All right, so the basses and the tenors sound like this. The basses are, till then be happy on the road. And tenors are, till then be happy on the road. Then we've got the altos. Mezzo-sopranos. And the first sopranos. Very good. This is everybody here slowly. Okay, and then like I've got marked right here, we've got this D. So it has to be a nice strong D, and it cuts off right on beat 3, right? So it'll be till then be happy on the road. Okay? Then once we get over here, now we're in the meat and potatoes of this piece, okay? Of this number. So let's go through the men right here. Lady tenors, you're going to be down here with the tenors for the rest of the piece. And that's going to stay, yeah, until the very end. The rest of it is 2-part, except for right here. We've got on these A's right here at the very end. That's just only those 3 sopranos. Everybody else, all the sopranos, mezzos, and regular sopranos are going to be on the F. Then the altos will be here on the C, and the lady tenors on the A. Okay? So that's how this last little bit here works. Let's learn these notes. All right, the basses. We've got, starting right here, measure 117, we've got like you, but up an octave, like you. Again, falsetto is totally acceptable here. Then we've got right here, I can see America, dependable and true. Open sky and passers-by congratulating you. Find the open highway and you've hit the mother lode. Go crazy out there on the happy, out there on the finally out there on the road, on the road. Okay. Okay. Now, before I play the tenors and the lady tenor part, I'm going to point out something right here for the altos and the everybody singing the alto line and everybody singing the tenor line. They cross right here in just this one measure, so I'm going to have you just switch for this one measure, okay? So instead of the tenors and lady tenors going, graduating you, it's going to be graduating you, okay? And so we're just switching there. Okay, so now let me go back and do the tenors. We've got like you, I can see America, dependable and true. Open sky and passers-by congratulating you. Find the open highway and you'll hit the mother lode. You're crazy out there on the happy, out there on the finally, out there on the road, on the road. Okay, again, really hard D's on all of those. Okay, here is the alto part. Remember, we're switching right here, measure 122. And I'm not going to sing with you because it's hard. Anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest. Happy out there on the finally out there on the road, on the road. Okay. Okay, here's the soprano part. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest. Two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 on the road. And just the 3 sopranos go up to the A. Okay? There we go. Let's play everybody's part until the end. I'm going to take a break just to be able to turn the page. Okay? So, we've got this. Here's everybody's starting note on like, measure 116. Then we've got come. go. And that is that one. Alrighty. Next thing, we're going to skip to measure 104. Let this load here. Okay. So right here. This is just a passage of time little sequence here, right? So, let's just go with the men for a second. We have days into weeks, into months, into years, into clue after clue after clue. She likes blue. Seasons go by in the blink of an eye, but the dream doesn't seem to come true. Okay. And then if we do just those same 8 measures with the women, we get clue after clue after clue. And seasons go by in the blink of an eye, but the dream doesn't seem to come true. Okay? Together we get days into weeks, into years, into after clue. 3, 4. Okay? Next, we're going to go over here. Let's do these measures right here. We're going to start with the men. We get closer to her. Basses go, but you've been working hard, and time is flying closer to her. I'm going to do that one more time for the basses. Closer to her, but you've been working hard, and time is flying closer to her. Okay, the tenors, closer to her, 4, 1. But you've been working hard, time is flying closer to her. Okay, I'm just going to do all the men over again. We have okay. We've got the altos. Okay. And then sopranos, we've got okay, all of the altos and sopranos together. Okay, everybody together. Okay, nice and slow there. All right, moving on. All right, we've got this right here. Everybody just sings the same note, but it's 1. Like a cannonball, soon to be a human comet above. 1. Like a cannonball, circling a constellation of love. Filling up the heavens, making waters part, aiming straight for his beloved's heart. Okay, so the aiming straight for his beloved's welcoming heart. Okay. Alrighty. Now, the lady tenors are going to come down here and be with the tenors for the rest of the piece here. But let's go over everybody's lines, then we'll do everybody together. Okay. Here's the bass line. One. do the tenor line here. We've got off. Okay, here's the altos. 4-1. Okay. Now, here's the sopranos. Okay, I'm going to play everybody's part here. This is the basses, tenors, altos, sopranos. We've got close, all right. Moving on. Next thing here, we're going to just do the very end bit of Red, White, and True. So let's do here. Let me turn that here. My page 213. Alrighty. This is going to be at measure 183 in your books. Okay, this is all the women in 3 parts, meaning soprano, mezzo-soprano, altos, right? And then Edward is singing with the men. Okay, so we've got this here, and that goes until the very end, like that. We do get a little bit of separation right at the very, very end. And lady tenors will go with the tenors at measure 200. I think I have that written in though. So let me make sure I get here in the video. Okay, cool. So yeah, right here is where the women come in. Lady tenors join the tenors right here once they get to a G, and follow this stuff here. Okay. Here at the very end, though, we are going to have just those 3 high sopranos that I've talked about before on the B flat. The G flat will be the rest of the first sopranos, and then the mezzo sopranos will take the C flat, and then all of the altos will be joining the tenors here. They start right here. Okay, all altos begin with the tenors right here and go to the end. And then the rest of the 3 part is the 3 high sopranos, the first sopranos, and then the mezzo sopranos. Okay? Alrighty. So now, just another couple of things before we get going here. All of these oohs. So it's going to be oh, oh, ooh. Okay, and I want good strong glottals on all of these. Oh, ooh. Okay, and it's up high, and it's on a very closed ooh vowel. So I know that's hard, but that's what I'm asking for. And I don't want you to hurt your voices when you do that. Just if you have to go a little bit lighter in your tone, that is okay. That's totally fine. There are plenty of you will sound great. Okay, but let's jump into this now. So, let's do the men. Okay, we're gonna start men and then go to with the basses. It says berries right here, but that's just going to be everybody. Okay, because musical theater basses are really just baritones, and I'm sorry, it's not my rules. All right, let's go here. We're gonna start right here, measure 184. Okay, we've got. All right, I'm going to record now here the basses part here. Okay, so this is measure 184, right? So we've got, and 1. 1, 2, off. And 1. 3, 4, 1. 1 and leads the way. 2, 3, 4. We can stand and sing. 2, 3, 4. Red. 3 and 4 and 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Red, white, and blue. Okay. Here's now the tenor line. We go. And 1. I'm just a proud American. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Don't assume he's better than 1, 2. No way. We can stand and say. Red, red, 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Red, 2, dun, 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 dun. Red, I'm red, white, and off. Okay. Okay, and now here is the part for the altos. Because you start with the women in measure 183, but then you go with the tenors at measure 200, right? So, here we go. We have whenever tensions seem to flare, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Standing there. The way we can stand and say, red, red, red. 1, 2, red, red. He's red, white, and true. Oh, oh. There we go. Let's do the mezzo sopranos now. Okay, so you, here's your starting. Whenever 10, right? All right, here we go. And whenever tensions seem to flare, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Red, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Red, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, then you're red. He's red, white, and true. Oh, oh. Okay. Now let's do the higher sopranos. The first sopranos, and then I'll just add in the high note there for those 3 high sopranos. Okay, we've got whenever tensions seem to flare, standing there, away we can stand and say, 1, 2, 3, 4. Red, 3, 4. Red. He's red, white, and true. Oh, oh. Okay. All right. This is one that is going to have to be put together in person. This is a pretty difficult one, and that ending part is kind of crazy. So I just need you to be really familiar with this, because there's no way that we're just going to get this ready perfectly before we meet in person. That's not the expectation for me. I know that would be impossible. So I really just want you to become very familiar with your part, be able to sing it on your own, and then we'll get this better. Okay. Moving on. Let's do the Showdown. This is number 16. Cool. So, let me get there in my own book here. Okay. Measure 76. Alrighty. So, measure 76. It is all, right? So everybody comes in with, so there's gonna be a hanging tonight. But then everybody in this ensemble has to be ready to go. That's right. Yes. Right? So we have to be immediately. Yes, there's gonna be a hanging tonight. That's right. Yes, there's gonna be a hanging tonight. Right? So that's kind of the idea right there. Everybody's got to be ready to come right in. It's just kind of written weirdly, but whatever. We're gonna go with it. Here we go. So let's just go over the men's part right here. So, men, we come in and so there's gonna be a hanging tonight. That's right. Yes, there's gonna be a hanging tonight. And you hold that. Okay? Until Will comes in. Tenors, same thing. So there's gonna be a hanging tonight. That's right. Yes, there's gonna be a hanging tonight. With a nice T right there at the very end. It's not gonna be a hard T, but we do need to hear the T. Okay? Altos. There's gonna be a hanging tonight. That's right. Yes, there's gonna be a hanging tonight. Okay? And sopranos. There's gonna be a hanging tonight. That's right. Yes, there's gonna be a hanging tonight. And you hold that the whole time. Okay? So it sounds like this. Okay, and here's what it sounds like for everybody. Okay, alrighty. Now we're going to move on to measures 87 here. That needs to go away. Okay, there we go. Alright, Alright, so this is a little weird right here with the timings, okay? So I'm going to go first. I'm going to start with the women this time. We've got the altos coming first on this note right here, right? So Will starts right before us, and he goes, so what comes next? Right when Will says next, the altos come in with, what comes next? Off, up by the law, off, and one. A trial, off. Okay? Again, this is really slow, but this is because it's kind of a little awkward situation. We got to make sure we get it right. So, now doing the sopranos, Will goes, and here's the soprano part. Will goes, So what comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Abide the law and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Okay? Now, here's the men. Will goes, now what comes 1, 2, 3. Abide the law, 1, 2, 3. Begin a 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. There we go. Okay, my counting went off, but I played it right. So, the bass is begin a trial, a trial, a trial, and the tenors begin a trial, a trial. Okay, now the important thing is when we get to that last note, trial, everybody is staying the same except for the basses, right? But you have to keep the note strong. You can't decrescendo at all until the basses have changed their note, or it'll sound really awkward, okay? So I'm going to play all of those parts here. So Will first comes in. So what comes next? 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, off. Okay. Now we're going to move on to measure 137. Okay. I am just about there in my own book. One more. Okay, there we go. All right, so we've got, let's go with the men right here until the end. We've got, well, and I'll just play the basses. I say men all the time, but I'm meaning basses. Let's go with the basses. So now I'm going to play the bass part, okay? So we've got, now there's going to be a hanging tonight. There's going to be a hanging tonight. There's going to be a sturdy tree, and in the moonlight, there's going to be a hanging. There's going to be a hanging. There's going to be a hanging, a hanging, a hanging, a hanging, a hanging, a hanging, a hanging. Okay? Now let's do the tenors. Now there's gonna be a hanging tonight. There's gonna be a hanging tonight. There's gonna be a sturdy tree, and in the moonlight, there's gonna be a hanging. There's gonna be a hanging. There's gonna be a hanging, a hanging, a hanging, a hanging, a hanging, a hanging, a hanging. Okay. Now let's do the altos. We've got 2, 3, off. 2, 3, off. There you go. Now let's do the sopranos. 2, 3, off. 2, 3, off. There we go. Now we got to move on. To start over, however, Dylan has made a video for this, so I will turn the time over to him.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dylan. I met you all at the cast meeting on Tuesday. I'll be the assistant music director for this production. I, in addition to assisting Jordan and to assisting all of you with any questions you might have or any of your musical needs, I will also be in charge of teaching you two of the songs tonight. And those will be Start Over and What's Next. So we're going to begin with Start Over. Most of this song is Edward, Amos, Carl, a bunch of soloists, and I will work with you all individually. But the last couple pages have some fun ensemble stuff. So we're going to go over that together. First off, I just want to go over some logistical things of who is singing what. So yeah, the first thing I want to point out will be on measure 116, page 11, measure 116. And that is simply that the ladies who we've asked to sing tenor sometimes, that you sing the tenor notes on the word over on measure 116. So instead of being on the women's line singing the B to the A, you will sing the G to the F sharp with the tenors. Okay, so there's that. And now we're going to talk about the last three measures. So measures 126, 127, and 128. Pay very close attention to this because it is different from what we originally wrote on the vocal books for you. After seeing casting and different things, we decided to change a few things just about where voices are placed and stuff. So pay attention, please know which notes you are supposed to be singing so we sing the right ones. So first off, men, measure 126, you will take the top note. So all the ensemble should be on the bottom line. Edward, Don, and Zachy are on the top. Men, you should sing the top note of the bottom line, all men. So you'll sing tomorrow begins, let's get in the right key. Tomorrow begins today, and then this last note, all the men will be on the D flat. So the middle note of the bottom line, okay? So it'll go, tomorrow begins today, tomorrow begins. Okay, and we'll go over that. I'll play that again for you with the track and everything so you have something to practice with. So that's what the men will sing. Altos, you will take the bottom note of that line, but up in your octave. So you'll sing, tomorrow begins today, and then this last note, you will sing the F natural. So it's technically the top note of the bottom line, but you will sing it down in your octave, not clear up where it's written. So it'll be, tomorrow begins, okay? Tomorrow begins, okay? So that's alto. And then sopranos will start off on the top note along with the men. And then for this last chord with the sopranos, we will do a soprano split. So the mezzos or second sopranos will take the A. It's written as on the top line as Edward, Don, and Zachy's note, but we're gonna have the second sopranos sing that. So it'll go, that's second sopranos. And first sopranos will sing the B flat, which is technically the bottom note of the bottom line, but you'll actually be the highest note in the chord. So you'll take that B flat, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. If that's confusing or you're not sure what you're supposed to sing, shoot me a text or an email and let me know, and I'll help where I can. So now I just simply like to play through each part individually with the karaoke track. So you have something to practice with. The beauty of this being a video is that you can go back and replay whatever you need to replay as many times as you can. So I will play each part only once, but just know that it's your responsibility to rewind and repractice as much as you need to tonight and in the future. So by the time we meet in person, you know your part and you have your stuff down. Okay. So starting on measure 109. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, I'm aware that there's some speaking things before this. We all gasp and say, money to build a new town. Those are just timing things that we'll have to work out once we're all together in person. So don't stress about it too much right now. But we are going to start on measure 109 with the basses. So I'm just going to play from measure 109 to the end, and then you can rewind and practice that as much as you need. Okay, here's the bass part. There's that for the basses. And now we'll move to the tenor part, which is almost the same as the basses. You only split in like a handful of parts. So, yeah. But I'll play it all the way through for you so you have that to practice with. There's the tenor part. So I will play the alto part for the ladies who will be singing tenor at that one spot in measure 116 that I mentioned. I will play both notes when we get to that part. So hopefully that's not too confusing. If it is and you feel like you need to hear those two notes separately, let me know and I can send you a recording of that. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to play them together. And then otherwise, the altos are always singing in unison. They don't split. So let me rewind here. Okay. This is the altos. I goofed that up, so I'm going to replay that for you. So disregard that, altos. Let me just see what you're singing here. Okay. That'll be it. Okay. I'm going to replay that whole thing for you. There it is for you altos. Cool. Sopranos, I'll do the same thing for you that I did for the altos. And I will just play, you split out that, literally that one note at the end. So I'm not gonna worry about playing those separately, but if you need additional help with that, again, let me know. So here's the soprano part. Cool, there it is. So yeah, that's the parts for the ensemble. Again, I'm aware that there's Edward, Don, and Zachy sing stuff on top of that and everything, but I will work with y'all on that individually and then worry about putting it together once we can meet in person. So hopefully that's a good thing to get you a good start on that song. But yeah, I'm available if y'all need any help. So thanks. So now we're going to talk about the song What's Next. Most of the song is Will, and with Edward occasionally chiming in every once in a while, with the ensemble coming in at like the last 3 pages. So just one logistical thing here. It's super simple, almost all unison. We don't break into parts until the last 2 notes. Before I start playing parts, the only logistical thing I want to point out is measure 105, and 106 is where the last beat of measure 105 is where we split into parts. It will basically be, as written, men and women. So women will be on that middle line and men on the bottom line, except for, again, the lady tenors, if you'll jump down to the men's line for that. For the perfect tail, just to add a little more power to that harmony. Yeah, but other than that, it's all unison and super simple. So I'm just going to, so you'll sing after Will sings "She Is There," and he holds out there for 2 measures, 2 4 counts. And then we all come in. So yeah, I'll just give you those 2 measures before you come in, and then I'll play each part separately, and then Will and Edward, we will work on your solo bits individually. So women, let's start with you. Also, I don't have access to this backing track yet, so for now I'm just going to play them without a track, but it's pretty simple, so hopefully it won't be too much of a burden. Okay, so women, Will sings "She is there, 2 3 4 1 2 3 4." 2 3 4 1 2 off. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 off. Yeah. So something I didn't mention is just make sure we watch the counting on the long notes, particularly the last note of U, that beat flat. We hold out for 1.5 measures, so 1 2 3 4 1 2 off it was, and then tail we will hold for 3 measures plus 3 beats. So that's a cutoff. We can so count that out, 3-4 counts plus 3 more counts, and then off. And we'll make sure we get that all together once we're all in person. So yeah, that's the women's part. Men, really quickly. Basically the same thing, down an octave, but with that split at the end. Okay. Simple enough. Yeah, again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks, guys.
Now, lastly, we're going to do the procession. This is our a cappella little section here, and I love it dearly. It's going to be so much fun. Let me just find it here in both places. Okay, here we are. This has got to be really tender, right? So, with this one, I'm going to have the lady tenors start with the men down here, because they're going to take, when there's a 3-part split, the lady tenors are going to take the top line in the men's, okay? And then the regular altos, mezzo-sopranos, and sopranos will take the 3-part up here, okay? We just don't quite have enough men to do our own 3-part split. So, we're going. The other thing is make sure when you're doing these dos going down here basses that they the D's aren't too hard. When I listen to like a cappella groups, and they have these dos, a lot of the times the D's are too hard and it just kind of gets a little cheesy. We're not going for cheesy. We don't want to distract anything from the tender moment that is going on here. We just want absolute gorgeousness. Okay, let's get going here. Basses, here's your note. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, off, breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, off. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and then breathe. Everybody lifts and we hold that for a good long time. But everybody is on that D flat and the F, right? So men, everybody, all men, I want all of it in falsetto. Nobody should be trying that in a full voice, okay? Now let's do the tenors. So you start here on the B flat. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then lift. Now, let's do the lady tenors. We start on the B flat also. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then lift. Okay. Again, head voice there, all women. It's got to be just so lusciously smooth. Okay. No voices sticking out. Let's do the altos. We've got, this is your first note. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, off. Okay? Mezzo sopranos here. You're going to sing with the altos here. With the sopranos here. So this is your first note. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift, breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Lift. 2, 2, 3, 4. And then you hold it for 12. Okay. First sopranos. Here's your first starting note. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 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 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Lift. Okay, so what this actually sounds like here is like so. Here's what it sounds like when all of it is played together. We have the basses, the tenors, the lady tenors, altos, mezzo-sopranos, and sopranos. Okay, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Lift. And you hold it for 12. Okay? This is going to be really cool because it is actually a cappella. I mean, there's a little bit of instrumentation going on, but it's not anything that's like going to help you. This has to be like just actually done really well for this to come out. And it's going to be so beautiful. Okay? Last thing I'm going to mention here in the Big Hero Reprise, we've got it's Will normally that sings this whole thing. Okay? We are adding the ensemble to this. So, at measure 25 right here, pickups to 26, you're a hero fighting dragons, winning wars. Be the hero, and the world will soon be yours. Right? The ensemble is going to start coming in right here. You're a hero fighting dragons, winning wars. And the idea is, we have, of course, not blocked this, but the idea is that everybody's going to start walking in, singing this at this point, measure 25, and everybody will kind of be in place by the time we get to measure 31. Okay? So it's just growing through this whole thing. As you know, we can't hear everybody while most people are off stage, and then as they're coming on, it'll just grow and grow and be this great big thing. However, the parts that are going to be here are the exact same as in Be the Hero, the normal one, okay? At the very beginning. So, it'll be those same things. So you can go listen to that again. It'll be exactly the same there. And then that's the end of the show, guys. So, alright. I get that this isn't perfect. I know that there's some parts that are going to be confusing for you. But I don't know exactly what they are and what you guys are going to need. So I am here if you want to send me a Facebook message or an email and just kindly ask for help for what you need. I am happy to give it. I just recognize that this isn't perfect. I have never done a rehearsal like this before. And so this is hard. It's hard for me. But we're going to just make it through it. So just be very communicative to me. Things that you need, please ask for them. Also, please be patient. There are a lot of you, and there is only me and Dylan. So, that will be doing the music. So please, try your best. Reach out. We will do some fun little things to make sure that you're getting it. I will at some point have you send me recordings of you doing certain songs. We're probably going to start with Be the Hero. I want to hear that like last little bit, you're a hero fighting dragons, winning wars, right? Like what we're going to repeat in the reprise. And then just one last thing is that to make sure that you have listened all the way through to this, because there's important stuff all the way through, I want you to comment on a post I'm going to make on our Facebook page. I'm going to say, what do you think? And just leave it right there. And I want you to comment with your favorite type of ice cream. But don't spoil it for anybody in the comments. Don't make it obvious what you're saying, because I want to know who actually has spent the time in rehearsal like they should. Okay? Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.